Hey guys, welcome back to Are We Strong Yet? I'm Zach. I'm still the guy down in the basement, and this is episode 7. I mean, who would have thought we would have made it 7 weeks? But shit, man, here we are. If you've stuck with me this long, thanks for coming back. Thanks for hanging out. For some reason, this is the first video that popped up on your thing, and you're just watching for the first time. Welcome, welcome. Sorry if, things maybe seem a little confusing because, I've just been going over stuff, but whatever, man. Happy to have you. Thanks for coming. Anyway, so we're going to hop right into it, okay? So, diet update. Last week, I know I talked about potentially doing the deload or whatever a little early. So, the training all through last week, by the way, let me take a step back. Sorry, my brain's a little all over the place today. Today is Saturday. I usually record on Fridays, but was just really busy on Friday. I run a Dungeons and Dragons campaign out of my basement as well, and my group, we got together last night, so I didn't have time but I get home from work, I didn't have time to record a video and run the session, so ran the session. It's now Saturday, and we're down here. So the workouts throughout the week, we're feeling, the energy still was not there, guys, okay? I was still struggling, and I was really struggling with the food as well. I was just thinking about my food a lot. I think I had just hit a point that Dr. Mike talks about called diet fatigue. And I made the decision to, starting yesterday, so this is my second day, to cut the training, the leader template a week short, to move into my maintenance phase essentially a week early. So I started maintenance calories yesterday, which is about 2,800, 28 and some change. Is what Carbon estimated my current maintenance calories at. And I usually don't lift on Saturdays, but I had some time this morning just because I had some plans that fell through. The schedule was a little off, so I started day 1 of the deload this morning as well. And shit, man, carbs are magic, but we'll get to that first. So my weight's holding pretty good, around 234, 235 pounds. So I'm hoping to stay there for the next month and just kind of ease up on the mental aspect of the food and just kind of get back to having fun. Like the last 2 weeks, I think I was so focused on just powering through and sticking, hitting my macros and staying under my numbers that, again, I kind of forgot to have fun with it. So my goal moving forward is like, hey, let's ease up a little bit. Let's get back to having fun. And then after this anchor template, we'll turn the calories back down. We'll get right back into business. Okay. So, but yeah, we'll be sitting at hopefully, I'm still going to check in with Carbon every week. Hopefully the calories don't change, or if they do change, they go up, right? But I'm hoping to stay around this weight for the next 4 weeks, give or take. But before we, move back into a leader template and turn the calories back down. All right. Training update. Like I said, guys, this last week, the workouts were tough. We got through all of them. I've been trying, my current leader template is the whole goal is to finish the whole workout in 45 minutes, and we accomplished that goal. But not only did it so it's always kind of hard, right? The training should be hard, but man, it just felt like I was dragging ass. Right, I hit the numbers, I did the thing, but again, the juice just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I made the decision. I was like, you know what, we're gonna just bump over a week, move into a deload, move into the anchor template a week early. I missed out on a week of the leader template. I missed out on a week of the deficit. Like, I don't think it's gonna matter. I think we just had to make that executive decision. And move it, because once again, I had time to tune into Jim Wendler's stream this week, asked a couple more follow-up questions just about like training in a deficit, whatever, and he even brought up the great point of, if you write down a workout, you can't be married to that workout. Like, you could write down a workout, but when the day comes, you might have to pivot. Whether you could not feel that great and you got to turn it down, or you look at it and be like, man, I'm feeling awesome today. I want to push a little more, right? So can't be married to it. Again, it's great to have a plan. I'm a believer in having a plan, but you can't be married to the plan in that you you got to be able to make game time decisions. You got to be able to call an audible. You know what I'm saying? So we did that. And like I said, I usually don't lift on Saturdays, but I lifted this morning, had day one of the deload. It was an upper body day. Main mover was bench. And guys, it was awesome. Felt really great to, again, just have fun with it again, where the weights weren't too serious, and the volume wasn't too high, but just coming down here, let's get a sweat, let's get a pump, let's not put any pressure on ourselves, let's just get back into the groove, right? And that's really what today was all about. And today was a much needed win, where I just worked up to a top set today. It was a heavy, like a little pyramid work with the top set being, so admittedly, I went a little off program. It was supposed to be 305 for one, but I was like, dude, I'm not gonna load up all that and not put 3 plates on. You know what I'm saying? So I skipped 305, did 315 for one, and man, I felt like I could have took it for 5. Like I just felt great, and it felt great to feel great. You know what I'm saying? So a much needed win today, and I'm really jazzed. I'm really jazzed. If it's gonna feel good to, I don't know if you guys heard that. My cat just foreheaded the door. Felt really good though. Felt really good to feel good. And I'm really, really freaking jazzed to push through this deload and then get right into my anchor template, start pushing the weights again, and just do the thing. You know what I'm saying? And then what I'm not gonna do, something I've been thinking a lot about, I'm not gonna panic if the scale goes from like 234 to like 236, okay? I'm not gonna panic, I'm not gonna freak out. This is something I think a lot of people do, and I'm here to talk you off the ledge. You gotta just trust the process, all right? Especially the calories are going up, especially the carbs are going up. I'm probably gonna hold on to a little more water because carbs love water, right? But what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna only hang out at maintenance for like a week. The scale's gonna move a little bit and we're not gonna panic. This is mostly me talking to myself right now, okay? But I know there's a lot of people out there who probably experience the same thing, where like again, you have your plan, but the minute the plan gets a little uncomfortable, you freak out. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna hang out at maintenance at least through this anchor template, and then we're gonna be primed to get after it some more, okay? But yeah, as far as the training goes, 315 for a single on a deload is pretty sick. And I'm freaking jazzed, guys. I'm freaking jazzed. So that's really it for the training and the diet update. Like I said, hopefully no news is good news moving forward, because like while I'm in maintenance and in this current phase, like hopefully not a whole lot of events. If anything, it's just me sitting here telling you that it feels good and the weights are going up. Hopefully that's what I can keep telling you guys, but we'll see. I really had to make this decision as well because, again, when I set out on this, and I know I've mentioned this before, but when I really locked into my diet, again, the whole goal was let's get relatively lean enough so we can justify moving into a gain phase and see how strong we can get. That's really the whole point. I'm just trying to be how do I put this? Because being as strong as possible isn't really my goal necessarily. I just want to be as healthy as possible. And by that, I mean, like, I'd love to be around my same size, be very physically able, be strong, but less body fat and just in better shape, you know? So again, like, I was like 255 at my heaviest, was like, hey, let's get lean enough so we can justify a bulk. At that time, I was like, yeah, I'll probably have to lose like 25 pounds, 20 pounds, right? Like around 230 is probably when I can maybe move into a bulk phase. Well, here we are. So that was in April, May, June, July. It's July, right? April, May, June, July. So we're 4 months, creeping on that 5th month, and we're almost at 230. We're almost there. But when I look in the mirror, it's like, but we ain't even close. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't even close as far as like being lean enough to justify really upping the calories. So this journey is going to take a little longer than I thought, right? It's going to take, like, at 230, realistically, man, I'm looking probably 220, 215 is really what the end goal is going to be before we can even think about cranking them calories back up. So dealing with not the disappointment, but dealing with the reality of like, hey man, we're in for a longer haul. Like we already knew we were probably going to be in for a long haul, but we're in for a longer haul than we originally anticipated. So just gotta lock in. You know, that's why I was like, you know what, I'm going to be doing this for longer than I thought. Let's ease back a little bit, spend a little time at maintenance, and then hard push again. Because I think if I would have attempted to just keep hard pushing, I really think I would have hit a wall. You know, I think this was the right call, guys. I think this was the right call. Again, I don't have a coach, so this is just me trying to figure it out on my own and make these game time decisions. And that's part of the fun for me personally, is just kind of trying to figure it out, what works, what doesn't work, bouncing ideas off some homies of mine, bouncing off ideas of people who hit me up watching these. That for me, that's part of the puzzle. So yeah, so maintenance and through this anchor template. So we're looking about, well, if you count the deload and then the training max at the end, so it's going to be 5 weeks total at maintenance. And then we'll get back into a deficit with the new leader template and just get right back on the horse. Okay. I think in the long term, this is going to be pretty beneficial. But in the short term, I have to keep reminding myself not to panic if the scale moves a little bit north. Okay. But that's enough about that. So I just kind of went on a little tirade there. This week's fitness focus. So remember last week I was saying, I was like, I don't know, title topic, whatever, right? Homie in the comments was like, hey man, why not fitness focus? So I was like, that sounds good as anything, right? So that's what we're going with for now. So this week's fitness focus, I really wanted to get into machines versus free weights. I think this is a conversation that a lot of people, especially this is really geared towards people who are looking to either get back into the gym or really get into training for the first time. Again, this is aimed more towards beginners because I feel like if you're an intermediate to someone who's been training for a while, like you already know which one you like better, you already know which one works better for you. So the question's kind of irrelevant. But for somebody a little newer, I think this is a really valid question. Like you walk into like a commercial gym, I almost said the forbidden PF, but just kidding. If you train there, that's cool. But if you know, you know. But you know, you walk into any commercial gym, whether it be like a Crunch or like whatever, there's a bajillion different machines, racks, pieces of equipment. It's really easy, I think, to get completely lost in the sauce and be like, well, what do I do, right? Especially if you're somebody who, again, doesn't have a coach. You're just trying to get in better shape. So really, guys, what it comes down to is preference. I know, shocking. Or preference, or what are your goals, right? Again, if you're somebody who's just looking to get like in a little better shape, really, which one do you like better, right? Versus if you're somebody, I think, who's trying to be like an actual strength athlete. Like if you're somebody who is trying to be a power lifter, but you never want a barbell back squat, powerlifting is going to be super hard for you, my guy. You know what I mean? Because that's 1/3 of the whole sport. So you should probably get under a bar instead of doing like, now you could sprinkle in machines for like accessory work, but your main mover should probably be some barbell free weight work. Am I right? Sorry, I'm just all over the place. I'm gonna look at my notes. I'm actually gonna follow my notes this time. So a lot of people love talking that smack about machines. You know, I think there's a lot of purists out there who think, you know, machines don't give you the balance. I remember that was something I always heard of, like, you don't have to balance the weight, so you're not getting as much muscle stimulus, or like, there's a bajillion different things you hear out there, right? What I always love referring people, especially like, I was talking to my brother-in-law recently, and he was debating on whether he should train with the Smith machine or not. And I'm like, yeah, man, you know, he used machines all the time. Jay Cutler did a ton of, like, most of his training, when you watch his videos, is like him on the Smith machine, or like him on machines doing like cables and shit. You're gonna say Jay Cutler, multi-time Olympia winner, doesn't know how to build muscle? Okay? Let's everybody chill out. You know what I'm saying? But on the other side, there's the machine purist crew who say shit like, machines are safer. And like, yeah, I guess to an extent, like, you don't have to worry about dropping that machine barbell on your throat, like with a heavy bench press, or getting stapled to the floor by like a heavy barbell back squat, I guess. But I don't know, man. Y'all ever see those videos of dudes overextending on a leg press and exploding their knees? Right? You do anything wrong enough, it's super dangerous. So in my opinion, that argument's a wash. Okay? Training is actually pretty safe most of the time if you're doing it properly, if you're not overshooting. But there's always a risk for injury no matter what kind of training you're doing. So in my opinion, that argument sucks. So if anyone tells you machines are safer, I guess, but not really. I mean, whatever, man. Like, so I think, I don't know. It really comes down to what are your goals and what do you prefer. So if you're someone who's just getting started, I know that's pretty open-ended. So let me walk it back. If you're somebody who's just getting started, try a little bit of both, right? Try a little bit of both. Like, set up some kind of a program for yourself and then just mix in machines that hit the different muscle groups or movements that you're training on top of like some barbell work. I got my functional trainer back here. I do some machine stuff, like some cable shit. I got my leg extension thing. Again, I'm getting reverse hyper down here. But most of my training is with a barbell, free weights, or dumbbells, right? Like, but I think there's room for both. Like if you're trying to just be relatively better in shape, I think there's absolutely room for both. So I think if anybody is trying to swear to you that you only should train with one or the other, to me that's really weird. And I probably wouldn't listen to that person. I don't know. Like, not trying to talk shit, but like, I don't know. There's totally room for both. Now, again, if you're telling me you want to build, you want to like deadlift several hundred pounds, but you never want to use a barbell, that's weird. Right? So, long story short, I think you guys are getting my point, right? I think you guys are getting my point. So, long story short, it really is going to come down to what do you like, or what do you respond to? Like, there's some machine movements that, for me, again, like great example, seated cable row. I love the seated cable row. It makes my back feel awesome. So I'm going to keep doing the seated cable row. Versus a lat pull down, I personally think pull-ups are better than lat pull-downs. For me, I just feel them in my back better, and I felt my back filled out more. But other people might say something completely different. Or like, let's say somebody who maybe has a shoulder injury and can't do pull-ups, but you're able to scale lat pull-downs a lot better because you can control the weight. Whatever. Like, this is such a nuanced topic, or like, there's so many like different ways to kind of get lost in the weeds on this one, that I think, again, anybody who's making the blanket statement of you only need this, you only should do that, it's weird, and it just feels wrong, okay? There's definitely room for both. So I would say if you're just getting started and you're like, oh, I don't know where to start, shit, man, try them both. Like, go into your gym, look at a couple machines, take them for a spin. Or if you're trying to learn how to like squat and deadlift, admittedly with some of the more technical movements like a squat and a deadlift, like, yeah, you can watch YouTube tutorials, but man, like, I almost feel like you should seek out a coach of some kind to at least help get you going on those. Because like, admittedly, especially with free weights, with things like squatting, deadlifting, bench press, or if like you're out there and you want to get into more of the Olympic lifting, like we're starting to get into some like technical shit. You should definitely, like, probably not a bad idea to seek somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. But yeah, I'm all over the place today, guys. Fuck. My point, if I ever could just get to it, right, is just find out what you like. If you're a little newer, take both for a spin, see what you like. Okay, again, admittedly, I am biased towards barbell work or free weight work. It's the majority of my training is that. I feel like it helped build really good strength. I feel really good. But I don't know, man, there's people out there who probably feel better using machines. Like, whatever your goals are, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel is going to get you there faster is what you should do. But I think if anyone's telling you that you have to do free weights because of some sort of like balance or fucking, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some benefits there, but like, there's room for both. And then same, if anyone says like, oh no, dude, never touch a barbell because machines are way safer, man, you could look up some insane machine fail highlight reels, and I'd say that proves you kind of wrong, right? Again, anything done wrong enough is pretty freaking dangerous. So, like a lot of things, guys, just don't get lost in the weeds. Just give it a shot, give it a try. Whatever one you like, whatever one you feel your body responds to better is the one you should stick to. But I'm a firm advocate that we can have our cake and eat it too. Like, you can train with both. And I think a lot of high-level athletes, including strength athletes and bodybuilders, train with both. So, kind of weird that there's a divide there. But I digress. I think I've rambled enough about that. Today feels like it was short, but I say that every week, and these things are always kind of about the same length. So who actually knows, man? I really should start keeping track of time. I know I've said that now for 7 weeks. Maybe next week I actually will. But with that, I'll let you guys go. Thank you for sticking around. Say thank you for the words of support. I've been getting some really cool feedback, and it means a ton. Just thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out, and see you guys next week. Remember, you don't got to be strong to start, but you got to get started to be strong. Take it easy, guys.